Recording.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was that. It's the tech. It's the
Okay.
tech aura.
All right. I'm Lyndsay Gunther. This is my speech for communications. And this is my audience. I have Connor, Lily, Tommy, Connor, Zarifi, and today I will be sharing with you the challenges I faced choosing to go back to school in my mid-20s. I was first a full-time student in 2020 to 2022 during the first initial COVID-19 outbreak. And during this time, it was difficult for me to be a student because I couldn't handle the workload of being a student with online classes. So I decided to make a decision for myself and ultimately join the workforce full-time. I had goals when I joined the workforce too, and it was to move out of my parents' home and also save up enough money to go back to school when I ultimately decided to make that my decision. When I began working full-time, I decided that I did not necessarily need a degree as I was making ends meet and achieving my goal of moving out and achieving more goals than I could ever imagine during this time. That changed as I spent more time with my coworkers and I started discussing with them more about our work and our workload and how our day-to-days seemed very similar. And I decided that I needed to change after hearing one of my coworkers share with me that he had been working there for over 30 years and would not change a thing. This should have not been intimidating to me at first, but after hearing someone said that they'd do that and not make a change, I decided that I started to crave a degree, something that would open more opportunities for myself, maybe even a new pay and new benefits. By this time, it had been 3 years since I had last joined or been last a student, and the concept of going to school seemed easy because I was once a student, so why wouldn't it be that much easier or be the same? But there were some things different this time, such as working this full-time job. Working a full-time job and also going back to school was difficult because I had limited and less free time to focus on school and on those online classes that I've been taking. In the challenge of also dividing work life and school life, I also had a challenge dividing my private life as well, and it became daunting at times. But not only was the balance of work, school, and life a challenge, but returning as a student officially was also a challenge as well. Because it had been 3 years at this point since I had last been a student, and my mind had developmentally changed since 3 years ago. Initially, as a student, I spent less time studying as I had more free time to do so and lazily studied and didn't need to focus as much. But now, I have developed a technique that requires more time to study, which I don't have access to that time. I had lost confidence in being a student with this issue and still face the challenges that should have been natural for me to conquer 3 years ago, but are overwhelming task for me today. Except I'm not the only student here who is working full-time and going to school. I believe a lot of my peers would agree that the task of balancing work life and school life is challenging, but I see a lot of the same people overcome these challenges. I observe these same peers accomplishing and meeting their goals with the school, and I admire their servitude to keep working. And I cannot wait to be one of those peers who has accomplished finishing school and finally achieved their degree to join a workforce that better suits their goals and dreams. In full, I used to be a student who was in the initial COVID-19 outbreak and took a break for a few years to achieve personal goals. I decided that work was not doing it for me after a few discussions with my coworkers and ultimately decided to go back to school. Going back to school has been a daunting task, and I look forward to it being done, but I still face new challenges every day, just like my peers who are also working and balancing their school life.